involved and being out in the community. For fun, I swim at Silver Lake as often as possible. What else? I'm a regular at the over 25 pickup basketball games. I like to cross-country ski. It's one of my favorite things to do in the winter. And I mean, overall, I really like living in Sackville.
Thank you so much. Why are you running in this year's municipal election?
I think a big reason I decided to run, when I was a CBC journalist, I had to put a lot of time into covering municipal politics. I was the Moncton City reporter for a long time. I would go to all their meetings. I went to the Kodiak Regional Policing Authority meetings. I put a lot of time in, and I found it incredibly interesting. I also saw just hours and hours and hours of this, but I also saw a lot of decisions get made. So I know what a good decision looks like, and I know what a bad decision looks like. And, and that's the immediate effect, but also down the road, when problems are left to fester, they absolutely grow. So really, I'm just running because I would like to be part of a well-functioning and engaged council. And I think a lot of my experience would sort of help me do that.
Thank you. And if elected, what is it you're hoping to accomplish?
I think that, really, it's pretty basic what I'm looking for, but what I would love to see happen in Tantramar is just that we all live in a community where we feel safe, properly housed, and fed. It's just those basic things. And I think in order to do that, we need affordable housing, we need a thriving economy, we need safe streets, and we need a working hospital. I mean, and not to mention a fire department, a well-functioning fire department, specifically here in Sackville. So, I think we do, here in Tantramar, we do a lot of things really well. We've got sports, here in Sackville, I think we do a lot of things really well. We've got sports for kids. We've got a wonderful walkable downtown. We've got more housing going in, so there's just going to be more and more people down there, which I think will really add to the downtown of Sackville. We've got a thriving arts and culture scene. The hospital seems to be in a really great position. There's the school in there now. There's day surgery. I was in there recently. There's an iron clinic. So people from outside areas, Greater Moncton, they're driving to Sackville to come get iron infusions. While they're here, they're getting lunch. They're sort of looking around. So because of the work of a lot of dedicated volunteers, the hospital seems to be in an absolutely, a really good position. But I mean, there's nursing homes without walls. We've got the Sackville Food Bank in Dorchester. There's Station 8. There's so many good things happening. I think we can really add to that. But I think an important part of this is just we need to have diligence to keep what we've got. We can't take it for granted. It takes a lot of hard work. There's a lot of people who do that. But I think as a council member, it's really important to be involved. But not only that, it's the funding. As a council member, you get to decide where the money goes. And I think it's just really important to do that fairly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming in to chat with us. And just like with all of the candidates, myself and CHMA are wishing you the best in the upcoming election.
That's great. Thanks so much for having me, Clinton.
Thank you. That was Tori Weldon, a candidate in Tantramar's Ward 3 race. With your local CHMA news here in Tantramar, I'm Clinton Davis.
Hi, my name is Susan, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. Police in Halifax say 3 people were killed Saturday in a structure fire in Lower Sackville. RCMP say first responders arrived at the residence just before 4 a.m. They say officers tried to get into the home right away, but the smoke was too intense. Fire crews began dousing the flames and got into the home, where they found 3 adults, a 43-year-old man, a 38-year-old woman, and a 73-year-old woman. First responders tried to revive them, but they succumbed to their injuries. Newfoundland and Labrador's health authority says slowdowns are expected as it rolls out a new electronic information system. NL Health Services began the Core Care System launch yesterday morning. The authority says no appointments will be canceled and healthcare services will continue as normal. Core Care's phased launch allows for time to accommodate slowdowns as physicians and staff learn the new system. A business owner in eastern Newfoundland says the stormy weather this winter and spring has been costly. Claudia Fimbray says snow days and repeated cancellations have been hard on catering operations at Mamacita's, Mexican Kitchen, and Latin Market. She says staff worked hard this week to prepare for a catered event on Friday that was ultimately canceled because of the overnight storm. Mamacita's operation at St. John's International Airport also closed early or didn't open at all 40 times since December because of flight cancellations. A bus company serving New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and PEI is looking to introduce what it calls dynamic pricing. A notice published by the New Brunswick Energy and Utilities Board says Maritime Bus wants to maintain its existing base rates for tickets purchased at least 48 hours before departure. However, the company wants to hike fares up by up to 35% for tickets bought closer to departure. The company runs 20 routes that link communities across the Maritimes. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hi, I'm Dylan Kim, and you're listening to CHMA.
And now for the weather. Today we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 12, except 6 along parts of the coast, and a UV index of 5 or moderate. In the evening, clear skies with wind up to 15 kilometers an hour with a low of -3 and wind chill of -5 overnight. On Tuesday, April 28th, sunny skies with a high of 12, and then clear skies at night with a low of +5. On Wednesday, April 29th, sunny skies with a high of 16, and then in the night, cloudy periods with a low of +2. On Thursday, April 30th, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 14, and then cloudy skies at night with a 60% chance of showers and a low of 7. On Friday, May 1st, showers with a high of 10, and in the night, showers with a low of 6, and then finally on Saturday, May 2nd, showers with a high of 7. And that has been the weather.
Hi, I'm Evan, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM, Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
NHL playoffs continued over the weekend, and the Carolina Hurricanes eliminated the Ottawa Senators. They win 4-2 in the nation's capital to send the Senators off to the golf course for the summer. Minnesota plays overtime. They get a victory against the Dallas Stars, even up that series 3-2. And the Pittsburgh Penguins stave off elimination. They win on the road in Philadelphia, 4-2 final there, but a 3-1 series lead for Philadelphia. And the series is that we're continuing yesterday. It was the Buffalo Sabres moving one game closer to eliminating the Boston Bruins. They win 6-1 to take a 3-1 lead in that series. It was the Colorado Avalanche sending the Kings on their way for the summer. The sweep 5-1 victory secures it for the Avs. They move on to the second round. Tampa Bay Lightning, they score with 5 minutes left in the third period to break a tie. And they, against the Montreal Canadiens, 3-2 victory for the Lightning. And that series is evened up 2 games apiece, heading back to Florida. And in overtime, it was the Anaheim Ducks coming back against the Edmonton Oilers. 4-3 victory for the Ducks. Edmonton returning to the City of Champions, down 3-1 in their first round series. NBA action yesterday. Toronto Raptors, they hold serve at home with a couple tight, low-scoring games against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Raps get the 93-89 victory, evening up that series at 2 games apiece. San Antonio Spurs welcoming back Victor Wembanyama from the concussion protocol. They defeat the Portland Trail Blazers by 21 in a dominant second half where they outscore the Blazers by 38. 114-93 final. Spurs take a 3-1 lead in that series. 3-1 lead also for the Boston Celtics as they defeat the 76ers on the road 128-96. And it was the Houston Rockets saving a little face at home in Houston. They defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 115-96, moving that series to 3-1 for the Lakers, heading back to sunny Southern California. And sunny Southern California yesterday, we had some baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they shut out the Chicago Cubs to move to 19-9 on the season. Not to be outdone, the Atlanta squad faced the Phillies at home. They win 6-2 to move them to 20-9 and the best record in baseball. Your San Diego Padres in the Mexico series gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They lose after being up 7-2, 12-7 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Blue Jays, they're in action behind. They win against the Guardians at home in the Sky Dome, 4-2 final. They're inching closer to 500. Jays now 12-15 on the season. Boston Red Sox, they fired their manager Alex Cora over the weekend, and they defeat the Baltimore Orioles 5-3 in the bounce-back performance after the new manager shows up. Detroit Tigers, they're 8-3 winners over the Cincinnati Reds in Ohio. Milwaukee Brewers shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-0. Astros defeat the Yankees 7-4. Nationals with a 2-1 10th inning victory over the Chicago White Sox. And it was the San Francisco Giants doubling up on the Miami Marlins. And the New York Mets continue their poor performance through the course of the year. They moved to 9-19 on the season after losing both games of a doubleheader at home in Citi Field against the visiting Colorado Rockies 3-1 and 3-0. And finally, the Professional Women's Hockey League playoffs, they're set for the start of the series is on Thursday night. Ottawa Charge play Boston Fleet, and in the other one, the Minnesota Frost are being hosted by the Montreal Victoire. And on the local scene, in the QMJHL playoffs, minor hockey, Moncton Wildcats and Blainville Brosband Armada, they're all tied up at 1 game apiece in their best of 7. Winner of that one will take on the winner of Chicoutimi and Rouen Noranda.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hi, this is Jeffrey here, Sweden's Voice of the Marshes, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM. Sackville, New Brunswick. Playing piano in the corner.
And now for what's happening in your community. Couch to 5K is a Learn to Run program on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting April 28th from 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. in the Bill Johnson Memorial Park. Run by Mount Allison cross-country coach Claire Paybody, the group meets with Claire leading the workout and giving individual plans and advice. To sign up, you can visit tantjamarnb.com/programs by April 28th. The cost is $60 per person, and it is ages 16 and up. Rueded Casino is a fun, social Cuban circle dance with upbeat music and lots of laughter. It takes place every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Sackville Curling Club. No partners are needed and no experience is required. Urban Sketchers is a weekly free meetup of people interested in sketching life in Tantramar. On April 28th and every Tuesday after, you can find them at the Visitor Information Center from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Once again, that is the Urban Sketchers program that meets weekly on Tuesdays, a free meetup to sketch life in Tantramar. The Annex is blasting off for their first ever book club with the Interstellar smash hit Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Whether attendees are diehard fans of The Martian or completely new to the genre, this story of survival, science, and unlikely friendship is the perfect way to kick things off. You can find the debrief on April 29th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Annex Lounge on 131B Main Street in Sackville. The cost is $5, except free for Annex members, and the vibe is coffee, tea, and curated discussion topics. This is the book club at the Annex featuring the novel Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantjamar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
The Women's International News Gathering Service is an all-woman independent radio production company that produces and distributes news and current affairs programs by and about women around the world. Wings airs on CHMA every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Hey guys, you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Monday, April 27th. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and is ready to listen to some music. First up, we have City and Color with Rain When I Die, and then we also have, who are we going to play? Ndidi O with Young One. Let's get into it.
Is she ready to know my frustration? What she's slipping inside, slow castration. I'm already so strong, you can't break me. Did she come in and try to take me? Did she call my name? I think it's gonna rain. Oh, when I die. Was it something I said held against me? Ain't no life on the run, slowly climbing. Caught in light, so she stares at nothing. I can't help her but want. Now she hates me. Did she call my gonna rain. Oh, when I die. she call my name? I think it's gonna rain. Oh, when I die, when I die.
To be a young one with so much left of life, when any old connection could shape my mind, when love affairs were my primary strife, when distraction was so easy as was living a lie. I now walk closer to the end of the line. I am so much bolder than I was at that time. It's a gift to get older, but I will not deny the grief it carries over. When I was a young one, I cared not for life. My body was a fortress, thought I'd never die. I walked the earth with glass bottles for eyes. No care for the shell in which I do reside. I now walk closer to the end of the line. I am so much bolder than I was at that time. It's a gift to get older, but I will not deny the grief it carries over. Learning to survive this next stage of life. No one tells you how to grieve when a part of you dies. I once was a young one, thought I had so much time, when any old connection could change my life.
That was Indeedy O with Young One on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you are listening to The Late Morning Show, and we also heard Rain When I Die by City and Color. Next up, we have Avi with The Way It's Always Been, and then we also have Aura Kogan with Honey.